शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया
गजानना सदया
वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा
वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा
वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा
वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा
प्रणवाकारा नाथा सदया
प्रणवाकारा नाथ सदया
प्रणवाकारा नाथा सदया
प्रणवाकारा नाथ सदया
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया
गजानना सदया
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया
वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा
वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा
प्रणवाकारा नाथा सदया
प्रणवाकारा नाथ सदया
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया जय जय
गजानना सदया
गजानना सदया
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया करो हरि नारायणा
दया करो हरि नारायणा
करो हरि नारायणा
दया करो हरि नारायणा
करुणा सागर नारायणा
करुणा सागर नारायणा
करुणा सागर नारायणा
करुणा सागर नारायणा
पंकज नयना पन्नग शयना
पंकज नयना पन्नग शयना
पंकज नयना पन्नग शयना
पंकज नयना पन्नग शयना
श्रीवासुदेवा नारायणा सनातन सारथे साईशा
सनातन सारथे साईशा
सनातन सारथे साईशा
सनातन सारथे साईशा
सर्वोत्तम गुणनिधे परमेशा
सर्वोत्तम गुणनिधे
सर्वोत्तम गुणनिधे परमेशा
सर्वोत्तम गुणनिधे परमेशा
राम साई राम साई राम राम
राम साई राम साई राम राम
राम साई राम साई राम राम
राम साई राम साई राम
सुरमुनि वंदित साधु जन पोषिता सुरमुनि वंदित साधु जन पोषिता
साधु जन पोषिता
सर्वजनाश्रय साईशा
सर्वजनाश्रय साईशा
सर्वजनाश्रय साईशा
सर्वजनाश्रय साईशा
सद्गुरुदेवा सच्चिदानन्दा
सद्गुरुदेवा सच्चिदानन्दा
सद्गुरुदेवा सच्चिदानन्दा
सद्गुरुदेवा सच्चिदानन्दा
साष्टांग शरणं मम गुरुदेवा
साष्टांग शरणं मम गुरुदेवा
साष्टांग शरणं मम साई देवा
साष्टांग शरणं मम साई देवा
राम साई राम साई राम राम
राम साई राम साई राम
राम साई राम साई राम
साई राम
सनातन सारथे साईशा
सनातन सारथे साईशा
सर्वोत्तम गुणनिधे परमेशा राम साई राम साई राम सुरमुनि वंदित साधु जन पोषिता सर्वजनाश्रय साईशा
सर्वजनाश्रय साईशा
सद्गुरुदेवा सच्चिदानन्दा
सद्गुरुदेवा सच्चिदानन्दा
साष्टांग शरणं मम गुरुदेवा
शरणं मम गुरुदेवा
साष्टांग शरणं मम साई देवा
साष्टांग शरणं मम साई देवा
राम साई राम साई राम राम
राम साई राम साई राम
Shri Sai Ram, offering our salutations at the feet of Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai. Respected elders, brothers and sisters seated here, and all those joining us from the various educational campuses as well as from around the world, Sai Ram and good evening. Greetings to all on this very auspicious occasion of Gita Jayanti. We'd like to welcome our guests this evening, Shri Prahalad DN, founder and non-executive chairperson, Surya Software Systems Private Limited, Bangalore. He also served as senior vice president, chairperson of several committees, and independent director at Infosys Technologies, Bangalore. We also have Shri Indu Shekhar, director, Volvo Group Real Estate Division. An industrialist with more than 35 years of experience, he is a key member of several bodies, including the Confederation of Indian Industries and Karnataka Employers Association. Hearty welcome to both of you. Gita Mahotsav or Gita Jayanti is observed on Shukla Ekadashi of the Margashira month, commemorating the day when Lord Krishna granted the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra nearly 5,100 years ago. The Gita is today considered as India's book of answers with solutions to every problem, challenge, and situation that one may come across in life. It predates organized religion itself and yet remains relevant even in today's modern times, elaborating on both the metaphysical as well as the physical, the afterlife, and this very life itself. It is a manual for life and a moral compass that helps us to fight the actual battle within ourselves to overcome our own fears, doubts, and despairs. Once again, our collective obeisance to Gitacharya Bhagavan Sri Krishna and to the Gita itself, which is described as Advaitamrita Varshini Bhagavati, the mother who confers the nectar of Advaita. And we pray that she may reveal herself so that we are blessed with a true understanding and that we may practice the message for all our life. We will commence this evening's proceedings with invocation by the girl students pursuing the Vedic Studies program, and they shall chant a few verses from the 12th chapter of the Gita, the Bhakti Yoga.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः भक्तियोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेताः ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम् सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम् सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् अनपेक्षशुचिर्दक्षा उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
A year back, on the very same occasion, with Sadguru's guidance, we had embarked to study the Gita. And with divine grace, we have also been able to successfully complete it exactly on the eve of Gita Jayanti, that is last evening. Through elaborate discourses over the year, Sadguru has been elucidating and explaining to us in great detail the meaning, deeper significance, and its relevance in all our lives. On one such evening, he beautifully summarized the Gita by rearranging the first 4 words of the very first chapter of the Gita. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre, when rearranged, becomes kshetre kshetre dharmam kuru, meaning in every situation, practice dharma, to do what is right at all times. And this, he said, is the very essence of the Gita. These profound discourses not only aid us to study the text and understand it, but are themselves like a guidepost. It has a very simple language with relevant and relatable examples for all age groups and all walks of life. Thanks to a dedicated team of volunteers and our multimedia section who have worked tirelessly throughout the year in facilitating these sessions through translation, transliteration, video editing, presentation, and many more. These videos and messages are now available to anyone who wants to access them online and for posterity. This evening, we take this opportunity to extend our thanks and appreciation to the entire team. As I call out the names, we request them to kindly come on the stage and receive Sadguru's blessings along with a certificate of appreciation. Firstly, from the content editing team, we have Sri Satyanarayana Kumar, Sri Sundar RG, Sri Sundar RG, from the video editing team, we have Sri Rajkumar Ji, Sri Govind Rao Punanna, Sri Ramesh A, audio verification by Sri Sriram Bhatt, Audio recording and editing, Brother Srinivas Vishwanath. We have also had a lot of support from several brothers and sisters around the world. They may not be here but are joining us online and in spirit. As part of the Sanskrit team, Sister Nadia Yokoyama from Japan, Prashant Ravichander from US, Ravindran Sambashivam Singapore, Subbalakshmi Hari USA, Mona Mehta UK, Sandra Craxi Italy, and from the indexing team, Shanti Balakrishnan Singapore, and Chanatani Ilavalagam from Australia. A big round of applause for all of them and our collective gratitude to all these brothers and sisters. We now invite Sri Prahalad Ji to address all of us this evening.
Evening to everybody. It's a great occasion. I mean, last I saw a Jayanti like this was in my grandfather's house. When he finished reading the Bhagavata, we had the Bhagavata Jayanti, what do you call Mangala, and the next day was a Samaradne, but this is a Ekadasi, so it can't be a Samaradne. It's a tremendous occasion. So, because a lot of people have talked to you about the Gita, I will talk to you about another book, which, being a student of science and mathematics, this book I hold in very high esteem. It's called the Feynman's Lectures on Physics. It talks about physics. It's a very beautiful book. The first chapter, the very first question Feynman asks the students is, if there was one piece of paper left in the world and you knew the end was near and you wanted to leave something behind for posterity, what would you write on that piece of paper? This is a very interesting question. Finally, Feynman answers it himself, saying, I will just simply write, matter is made up of atoms. Atoms have protons, neutrons, and electrons buzzing around them. So now, why do I bring up Feynman in the context of Bhagavad Gita? What this led me to understand finally is that everything is empty space. 95% of an atom is empty space. There's a nucleus which is small, a lot of empty space and a lot of electrons going around it. You and I are made up of these atoms. So is the tree there, so is the wall here. So what makes this whole thing so beautiful that a few different ways of arranging some of these atoms results in something as beautiful as a tree, as beautiful as a child, which grows in itself. So that is what I call the Leela, the divine or divinity is within that. How something so beautiful can be created. Recently, I was talking to somebody who said, I don't believe in any of this. And I was compelled to answer him with what President Reagan of the US said, that I have this unholy desire to bring the atheists to a dinner, serve them the best gourmet food ever, and ask them if they believed that there was a cook. So this beautiful world is made with the divine grace of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And his words are in the Bhagavad Gita. It is a concise representation, a melodramatic and a story representation of many essence of life. I've never read the Bhagavad Gita in its entirety. I think I've gone till chapter 7. And that's good enough for me because I believe chapter 2 was good enough for me. What it does is each time you read this particular book, it gives you a different view of the world. You get the same words and you get extremely different meanings. Just like Feynman's lectures in physics. Each time I read it, I get a different view of the world. So this is that. So what is this that Gita does to a person? I can only talk about myself. I've started and I was initiated into reading of the Gita at the age of 8.5 years. And what it has given me is two things: an ability to concentrate on the deepest of problems, cut it down to pieces, make it small, and make the problems look small. The big problems can become small. This is the power of concentration. Second thing it has taught me is confidence. Nothing can be that bad. At the end of the day, dharma will rule. That is the moral of the story. So when you read the Gita, don't stop by reading it once saying, I've read it. Please read it multiple times in your life. Each time you'll get a different meaning. So this is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. For me, of course, chapter 2 was good enough, where I learned that you have to be taking everything with equanimity. After all, at a very young age, I was inducted into running a business. And the business, as all of you are aware, is fraught with risks and things don't go your way. And therefore, it taught me that I had to take success and failures the same way. Okay? Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha sukeshu vigataspruhaha. So that was for me, that was the edict or the edifice on which I built my career. Yeah, good things happen. Don't get overexcited. We get good orders in Infosys. We got at one point $1 million order every week, which had never happened before. Don't get excited by it. And we have also lost a fair amount of business. Don't get depressed by it. Just go on. Do your dharma. That is the biggest thing. And the last thing I'll leave you with is what I tell our salespeople in Surya. Look at Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He convinces Arjuna, who was a bit reluctant, very rightly so, saying, for a few pieces of land, do I have to kill my own brothers, my own cousins, my own gurus, my teachers, so many acharyas? Do I have to fight against them? And what does Krishna use? He uses dharma to sell the concept that in case dharma has to be established, you will even need to go to the extent of killing your own kin. And that is the strength that the Bhagavad Gita gives you. A strong belief in your own, the divinity inside of you. Strong belief that nothing can go wrong. A strong belief that this is a beautiful world. It could not have been created by some random accident. Or all things that you can find in this book. And this book is, while it's called the Bhagavad Gita, I call it my own Gita. That is, if I listen to it more often, the better person I become. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, Swamiji and everybody. Thanks so much for listening to me today. I do apologize. I did not know about this. I'm not properly dressed in my casual things. So generally when I come and address youngsters, I always try to dress up well. So please pardon me for that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing with all of us your wise thoughts. We'd like to extend a token of our appreciation to Sri Prahalad ji. We now request Sri Indushekar ji to address all of us.
Good evening, Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba and Sadguru Madhusudan Sai. Last week, I was in Puttaparthi. Me and my wife Gita, we were there. And I had not even imagined that this week I will be here with the true Bhagavan. The greatest of the greatest soul, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, is merged with Sadguru Madhusudan Sai. This is only a miracle, and it is the will of Sadguru Madhusudan Sai that I am here this evening. 5-6 years ago, I was here and sitting at one of those visitor chair, and never in my life I had imagined that I would be with the Bhagavan on the same podium. It's truly blessed to be here. Today, Gita Jayanti, to me, coming from an industry has all the challenges, and they need to keep transforming to stay competitive. They need to deal with all the ambiguity of the world. And today we call it as VUCA world, completely volatile, uncertainty, ambiguous. And the leadership is always towards how do we transform the business to stay alive, to stay competitive, and to be relevant. And I also think that India as a country has been able to survive everything is because of spiritual gurus like you, Sri Sadguru Madhusudan Sai. Spiritual quotient perhaps is the new thing that is coming up on the top of EQ or even IQ. Transforming companies, transforming business needs those kind of abilities to demonstrate highest humility. And you want to transform business means you have to transform people, because people make the difference. Today, what's happening in all these spiritual centers is start at a very young age getting that foundation right. And if we say at industry we need to get the best product, and I come from Volvo, so Volvo we always say we were the first to get the safety incorporated with the safety belt design. So that means we were concerned that safety becomes extremely critical when your vehicle is there on the road. So similarly, when you need great citizens, great leaders, it all starts at that level of schooling, the foundation, which truly is for the transformation journey. Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba has many times in his discourse, and I've been there at Puttaparthi, ever since 1995, and every time I used to listen to his discourse, there was one strong message. Time wasted is life wasted. And I think even for the greatest of the great leaders who transformed the world, made everything possible, they also had 24 hours. They were able to do that with commitment and a very focused attention. And just now we had Mr. Prahalad mentioning about it. At industries, when we have to solve problems, technical problem, people problem, you still need to apply your best humility to see where is the issue, and you have to be fair in getting into the right kind of a root cause analysis. And if you need to be firm of a particular situation, you need to be there. I would say in India, we are all blessed to have this great Bhagavad Gita for all of us, which keeps practically giving us the insights of life, how to lead a purposeful life, a life of values, a life of commitment, and a true life of service. I am truly honored, Sadguru Madhusudan Sai, today to be with the august presence of all the devotees, the children here, and my humble pranams once again to all of you, and Jai Satya Sai Baba, Jai Sadguru Madhusudan Sai.
Thank you, sir, for taking the time out and joining us on this very special occasion, a token of our gratitude to Sri Indushekhar ji. May we now request Sri B.N. Narsimurthy, Revered Chancellor, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, to address us.
Loving pranams at the lotus feet of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Very esteemed Dr. Prahalad ji, Dr. Indushekhar ji, brothers and sisters and very dear students, boys and girls. Just now we have heard two very excellent talks by two very successful men. Their success in the world is well known, has been already stated by our Kampiya. But what is true success when you ask the question? When you study the Bhagavad Gita, you get the answer. Two important questions: what is true success and how to achieve success? Both questions are completely answered in the Bhagavad Gita. Especially our boys and girls from the university and the schools are highly inspired by your talks, Dr. Prahalad ji and Indushekhar ji. Thank you very much for that. And the first question, when we say that these two are very successful men, they are role models for our students and all young people anywhere. True success equals, according to Bhagavad Gita, maximum external achievement plus maximum internal happiness. You have external achievement without internal happiness, definitely it cannot be called success. And if you ask them how they achieved it, they would, even if they don't quote the last sloka of the Bhagavad Gita, which we learned yesterday or day before yesterday, they would mean that. If you look into their lives, very brief talks have made us know what exactly they are. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhanaha, Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhutihi, Dhruvanitir Matirmama. That is the formula for success that Bhagavad Gita gives. And that's what these two gentlemen have practiced in their lives. Self-effort is important. Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Bhagavan Vyasa chose the word Yatra Partho, the words Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. He didn't say just Arjuna or Partha. He should be a Dhanurdhara. Means he should be ready to put in his effort, exert himself completely, to put in his best effort on one side, but that is not good enough. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, divine grace is more important. And when both are there, Tatra Shrihi Vijayaha Bhutihi Dhruvaniti Matirmama. Tatra Shrihi, all opulence. Vijayaha, victory, success. Bhutihi, name and fame. And Dhruvanitihi, sound policy. So that explains what is complete success, as was pointed out by Dr. Prahladji. As per his own experience in life, the essence of Bhagavad Gita is to learn to treat both success and failure with equanimity in the same way. That's what Winston Churchill meant when he said, success is the ability to move from one failure to the another without loss of enthusiasm. See, we as teachers and parents, we are interested in teaching our children how to achieve success and how to face success. But that is not complete education. We have to teach our children how to treat failure when it comes. When that is not an integral part of our education, either at home or at the school or college, we see the kind of tragedies we find these days all over the world, and especially in India. India, which is known to be a country of spirituality, the suicide rate per 1 lakh population is going up day by day. Now it has already touched 12. 12 in every lakh commit suicide in India, a country which taught Bhagavad Gita, which taught how to lead the right kind of life. And Indu Shekharji, when he said, last week I was at Puttaparthi and now I am with Bhagwan, I thought I should remind our students and all our devotees of what Sadguru Sri Madhusudan said about himself. He gave a very concise definition of what he is on 30th of November, on the birth anniversary of late Madhyal Narayan Bhatt. I quote for everyone, Madhusudan Sai has the body of Madhusudan, mind of Narayan Bhatt, heart of Sri Satya Sai Baba, and consciousness of Brahman. This is what he said. It is highly creditable that Sri Indu Shekharji, having come here only a few times, maybe this is the first time, and he could grasp the truth of what Sadguru Madhusudan Sai is. Especially on this day, when Lord Bhagavan, Sri Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita, when the Mahabharata war began. Margashira Masa, Shukla Paksha, Ekadashi. That is the day when the war began, and Bhagavad Gita was taught. And Mahayogi Aurobindo said, Bhagavad Gita is our chief national heritage and hope for the future. Mahatma Gandhi said, it is true that Bhagavad Gita is my dearest scripture, but it is more than that. Bhagavad Gita is my mother. I go to her whenever I am in distress or difficulty. That's what he said. And many scientists, to quote only one, Robert Oppenheimer, known to be the father of the first nuclear bomb, atom bomb, he said, Bhagavad Gita is the most beautiful philosophical song existing in any tongue anywhere in the world. This is what he said. It is our chief national treasure. Any heritage finds fulfillment when it is handed over to the next generation. Otherwise, heritage will not remain heritage. Keeping this in mind, looking at the educational scenario in our country, where God and religion, Bhagavad Gita, Quran and Bible have been thrown out of the window. Schools and colleges don't talk anything about the most important thing in life. In such a situation, to pass on this heritage to the next generation, our institutions have been doing from the very inception a little bit. But what Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai did on last Gita Jayanti day, on a similar day, was to announce, I want every one of our boys and girls to learn all the 700 shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita by the next Gita Jayanti. Because it is willed by the divine, it happened. How great every one of our boys and girls have chanted every shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, at least being taught. Everyone has learnt word-to-word meaning. Everyone has learnt what is the essence of each shloka. On top of it, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai himself told us, after the completion of every chapter, what is the essence of the chapter. See, listening to Bhagavad Gita, essence of the Bhagavad Gita, or any scripture for that matter, from a scholar is one thing. Hearing from a person who says that I have the consciousness of Brahman is something totally different. The simplest essence of every chapter of the Bhagavad Gita was so beautifully explained by Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, and I take the opportunity on behalf of all our students, teachers, and devotees and followers to offer our gratitude to Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai for having done it. Since it is recorded, this Sadguru's discourses on the Bhagavad Gita recorded about 25 to 28 hours of recording is available for posterity. See, that is what science and technology can do to spirituality. They can perpetuate the transfer of a great heritage like the Bhagavad Gita. It's available for all people, all time to come, completely free of cost, like any other thing which was done by Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, or which is being done by Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Therefore, as was pointed by Sadguru himself on the 30th November, He said, "You are the most fortunate students, fortunate men and women in the whole world," he said. Because, especially the young boys and girls, and it is not just listening. You talk to any of the boys, any of the girls, they are able to express what they have learned in the simplest way, the highest philosophy in the simplest way. Again, all credit goes to Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Once again, offering our gratitude to the Sadguru, I conclude and pray to Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai for his divine benediction on the Gita Jayanti. Thank you very much.
Sri Adi Shankaracharya, one of the greatest thinkers of our country, who preached the ideal of Advaita, no two. That is Advaita, there is only one. He said, Bhagavad Gita, Kinchita Dhita, Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita, Sahudapiyena Murari Samarcha, Kriyate Tasya Yamena Na Charcha. Anyone who reads Bhagavad Gita even a bit with complete attention and drinks a little bit of Ganga Jala, water from the river Ganges, the sacred river Mother Ganges, or the one who thinks of the Murari, Lord Krishna, with all his heart, such a person will never have to have a discussion, an argument, a debate, negotiation, or even worse, begging and pleading with Yama, the Lord of Death. Everybody is worried about their life, and more than that, worried about their death. Death is a very common phenomenon. Everything dies or changes, whichever way you say. Change is also death of the earlier version and the birth of the new version of things. So death or change or destruction is a constant process. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. We should not be afraid of Laya, because Laya leads to another Srishti. It is a continuous process. Billions of cells are dying. Billions of cells are born every day. Unless that Laya happens, Srishti does not happen and Sthiti does not happen. That is the rule of nature. Yet we are happy with Srishti, we are happier with Sthiti, but we are scared of Laya. And Bhagavad Gita's power in terms of removing this fear of death, the sting of the fear of death from the hearts of men and women, I think is one of the greatest contribution. Because we are all scared of death, because we think that is the end of everything. All that we have earned, learned, said, heard, achieved, gained, lost, everything comes to an end, is what most of the world thinks. But we are not given to think like that. Those who belong to Sanatana Dharma, those who have had the blessings of the Lord to have heard these great truths from his own mouth. Ya swayam padmanabhasya mukhas padmadvini sritaha, that which has flowed out of these lips of the lotus-eyed one or lotus-naveled one. From him we have heard this. Such a person cannot afford to be afraid of death. Such a person should always be fearless, always selfless. Because what is there to gain, what is there to lose? At the end, everybody is going to reach the same state. And you don't have to beg, negotiate with Yamadharma Raja, extend my life by another 10 years, let me see my son's wedding, and then another 10 years to see my grandson, and then another 10 years to see my grandson's wedding, and things like that. This goes on, you know. You don't have to do. Whenever Yama comes, smilingly you should welcome. Come on in. And no debate and argument and begging and pleading. You have come, time has come, let's go. Because death is not the end and birth is not the beginning. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. And that makes us fearless. What is there to lose? What is there to gain? That's how Bhagavad Gita puts it across. At the end, everybody is going to become the same. It's only during the process, the sthiti part of it, we all go through various experiences. The srishti and laya is same for all of us. So how do we lead our life? I always say Bhagavad Gita is a text manual for one's life. You buy a gadget, you get a manual with it, an instruction booklet. And you ought to open the book first and read about the gadget or the equipment and then start the gadget. Most of us start off with gadgets and then we mess it up and then we start looking for the manual. What is written, how to deal with this knots? Unfortunately, most of the people keep Bhagavad Gita reading for their retirement when the gadget is already gone. A lot of faults, mistakes have been made. Now you want to find solutions to correct all of that at the very fag end. Now, Bhagavad Gita is not to be read at the end of our lives. It is a manual of life. It has to be read in the beginning of the life. That is why we decided last Gita Jayanti, with the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, the Gita Acharya, Jagat Guru, the only avatar in those, of all the avatars that we know, which are there on top of my head, on the paintings, is the only avatar who has preached. Sri Rama did not give any preaching. Or Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narahari, all these avatars did not preach anybody anything. But Sri Krishna preached Bhagavad Gita and he became Gita Acharya and Jagat Guru. Vande Krishnam, Jagat Gurum. You are the Jagat Guru. And he became a Guru and turned an unwilling student into a Shishya. Arjuna was not willing to even listen to Krishna. He was going on blabbering something. Whole of the first chapter is one continuous ranting by Arjuna. I don't like this, I don't like that. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. This is not up to my liking, that is not what I desire. Sri Krishna, patient teacher, listens to the entire one full chapter. Just listening. Listening is such a great value to learn from Lord Krishna. We listen only to speak. But Sri Krishna is listening to understand what's going on in Arjuna's mind. He allowed Arjuna to let it out. And then he saw that there is no end to this ranting. This man is going on and on. So he took a strong stand. Klaibyam agamasmat samapartha. Don't be non-masculine. Now, to tell this to a Kshatriya, hey, you are behaving like a woman, is a great jolt on his ego. So Arjuna is like, he comes out of this ranting in the reverie. Then he says, what are you calling me? Krishna says, nothing. Next, listen what I have to say. Don't behave like this. Where did you get this cowardice? You are supposed to be a Kshatriya. Behave like one. Then Arjuna says, I do not know how I am behaving, what's going on. I have lost my memory. Dharma sammuda cheta. I have no idea of what is dharma. My mind is incapable of understanding. Please, you guide me. Shishyasteham. Shadi maam tvam prapannam. I am becoming your shishya. So an unwilling student has been turned into a willing Shishya, but not an obedient Shishya still. Only willing to listen, willing to follow, we do not know. But he says, Shishyasteham, I surrender myself to you as a Shishya. Unless you become a Shishya, Guru cannot do anything with you. Guru may be all embodiment of knowledge. What can he do to you when you are not willing to listen? When you are not here to understand or learn? So Krishna tells. And then Bhagavad Gita starts, as Prahlad ji said. Second chapter is the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Entire Bhagavad Gita's essence is there in second chapter, and again you see that in the 18th chapter. As we said, a good teacher first tells what he is going to tell, then tells, and then tells what he has told. So Bhagavad Gita is like that. Very good teaching methodology. Second chapter, he tells what he is going to tell in the whole Bhagavad Gita. All concepts are covered. Karma, bhakti, jnana, dhyana, everything is covered. And then along the whole Bhagavad Gita, various sections, various ideas are discussed. And towards the end, final chapter, the 18th chapter, Sri Krishna summarizes everything. That is to tell what you have told. Then he takes the feedback from the Shishya. Have you understood anything? Has your moha been destroyed? Have you heard it correctly? And then finally Arjuna says, Nashto moha smritir labdha. I have understood what you have said. And my memory that I am a Kshatriya has come back to me, and I am supposed to fight this battle for the sake of my dharma. I have understood that. Nashto moha, all my delusions are destroyed. Sitosmi, I have become stable. As one of our child said, Swami, you have given me nobility, you have given me ability and stability, she said. Because noble people are sometimes not stable. Able people are also not sometimes stable. But both ability and nobility finds its fulfillment in stability. To be able to consistently do what you have decided to do, to consistently be noble, to consistently do things with the best of your abilities, not lose enthusiasm, not lose spirit. That requires stability. And Bhagavad Gita is the text which teaches us stability. That's what we heard from Prahladji. Sthita Prajna, that's what is equanimity. Take everything with equanimous attitude. So equanimity is the Phalashruti or the outcome of learning Bhagavad Gita. And that is how finally Arjuna surrenders and says, Karishye Vachanam Tava. The first chapter, I do not want to do this. I don't want to fight the war. Let's go back home, turn the chariot around, and all kinds of things. And last chapter, I am here to just obey you. Obey, when he says, he's not obeying Sri Krishna, he's obeying the very dharma. Krishna is the embodiment of dharma. So that dharma he is willing to follow, his dharma. And just when he is willing to follow dharma, what does Krishna say? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up all kinds of ideas of doing dharma, adharma and all that. And just come to my sharanam. Surrender unto my feet. And what will I do? Mokshaishyami. I will free you. From what? Sarva papebhyo. It means sarva punyebhyo also. We only want redemption from our sins because we have sinned and then we want God to save us. But we should understand it sarva punyebhyo api. That from merits also you redeem me. Because when you gain merits, you go to other lokas. We know when our merits get exhausted, we are back into the same class. So he says, Ham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Don't worry. I will take care of you. Provided you surrender to that supreme Lord. Not Krishna means not the human Krishna that he was. The supreme principle of divinity, surrender. Once you surrender, you are done. There is nothing more to be done. Sarva dharman parityaja automatically happens. Because who is the doer in the first place? Dharman parityaja means don't give up your duty actions. Give up the idea of doership is sarva dharman parityaja. Oh, I am doing. That concept goes away. It's being done. It's being done through me. Because I've surrendered. I'm an instrument in the hands of the divine. This mic is not speaking. I'm speaking. Mic is only amplifying it or carrying it and the sound and reaching it to you through all the system, audio system. So mic has no dharma. If I speak Bhagavad Gita, this mic does not become holier. And if I scold one of you, it does not become any unholier. It remains the same. That is Sthita Prajna. Mic is Sthita Prajna. Speaker may not be Sthita Prajna. Mic is. Once you become an instrument, you are a Sthita Prajna. You are always in that steady state of equanimity. So if you have heard Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, understood Bhagavad Gita and practiced even a little bit, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya, even little bit of Bhagavad Gita if you have practiced, trayate mahato bhayat, biggest of your fears will be alleviated. And which is the biggest fear that we have? Of course, board exam fear. No. The biggest fear we have is of death. Mrityu bhayam. Ayyo, if I die, then what about all these that I have accumulated, amassed? I wanted to enjoy all these. Where do I do? And some people even bury it with them. We have seen pyramids and God knows what all kinds of burial things where people have buried everybody. Not only they have buried their treasures, they have buried people also along with them. So that they will have servants in the other world. Poor servants, for no reason they were killed. Wrong understanding of death. Wrong understanding of life. How foolish. So that is the idea. We want to amass and take things to the next world also. It's not possible. The only thing that we take with us is the Buddha, as it is said. Yatha karma yatha shrutam. Whatever we have done in this world, the reactions or the phala of that. And shrutam, whatever we heard and understood, that wisdom. So only the work and the wisdom goes with us to the next world. Nothing else goes with us. The good work that we have done, the results of it will come. Or shrutam, whatever good we have heard and gained wisdom. That wisdom will stay with us and we are born again. We carry this forward. This is Bhagavad Gita. Most of the world philosophies and religions don't believe in Punarjanma. Don't believe in Karma Siddhanta is there, at least to some extent. They'll go to hell or heaven, that's fine, and then settle down there for a long time till their verdict is pronounced. But you can imagine if in our courts only there are so many cases pending, what must be the case on top? Real bad. That too, there is only one judge, the supreme judge, who has to finally come and announce everybody's verdict. It's not possible. Anyway, whatever be the philosophy, we are very blessed because we have clear understanding of life, death, and all the action, reaction, punarjanma. All this is mentioned in all scriptures and of course Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita says, Gita sugita kartavya kimanyaye shastra vistara. If you have read Bhagavad Gita, what is the need to read any other scriptures? Because Sarvopanishado gavo, it is like if all the Upanishads are turned into a cow, Dogdha, Gopalanandanaha, if Krishna becomes the cowherd boy or the person who milches the cow, Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta, the calf is Arjuna. And Sudhir Bhokta, he drinks a lot of milk, in the sense he continues to enjoy the Gita Amrita. And Dugdham Gita Amrita Mahad, the milk is Bhagavad Gita. Amrita, it is Amrita Varshini, it was said. Advaita Varshini. It is that you enjoy forever. Forever. So how should we be? We all should be like that eager, hungry calf to learn. Go to Goshala and see. In the morning when they are about to milk the cow, the most restless being on earth is that little calf. He can't control it. It knows it's time to drink milk. Oh, it becomes so energetic and jumps and you can't control. So eager. Mumukshutvam. Eagerness to realize the truth. That eagerness of the calf should be there in us. Hunger for God, hunger for knowledge, which Arjuna develops during Bhagavad Gita. And asks and asks and asks more and more questions, clarifies all his doubts. And the patient teacher Krishna never says, enough is enough. How many times I have told you? He simply repeats. Even at the end he tells, whatever I have told you, let me tell you once more, just in case you missed out anything. Such compassionate teacher. Now for teacher and students in the Gurukula, Gita is one wonderful text. Even the methodology is wonderful. Because Krishna is the best teacher that you can find, and Arjuna is the best student of the Shishya. We must become Shishyas like Arjuna. Shraddhavan, labate jnanam. That Shraddha, if we develop, will attain the wisdom. So Bhagavad Gita should be read, understood. Adhyayana, it is said. It's an Adhyayana Grantha. You have to study the scripture and understand it. Adhyayana, dhyana. You have to meditate upon the meaning. See, we have read it. It's God's grace that despite whatever ups and downs and situations and things like that, we have still managed to complete the entire Bhagavad Gita from one Gita Jayanti to the other. And Krishna calls this Jnana Yajna. Krishna calls this discussion or understanding, study of his wisdom of Bhagavad Gita is a Jnana Yajna that we are offering unto him. Whoever does this, he is doing a Jnana Yajna to me. That is the way they worship me, he says. And they become the dearest to me. Nobody can be dearer to me than those who learn and teach Bhagavad Gita to the deserving people. Nobody can become dearer to God. So that is the joy of Krishna. If you follow the teacher's teachings, then only teacher is happy. You listen from one ear and take it out from the other, it doesn't work. So Krishna will be very happy if on this Gita Jayanti we make it our resolve to study Bhagavad Gita, not just read and repeat like parrots. We study, internalize it, assimilate it and practice it in our daily life. Mananam nididhyasanam is to be done. So while we have achieved one milestone of having gone through the entire Bhagavad Gita, the journey has just begun. From here starts this deeper study and understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So on this occasion, I also want to take the opportunity to let you all know that during the month of July, soon after Guru Purnima, which is on 3rd of July, that's when we have the convocation. After that, for 20 days, we will have Gita Jnana Yajna. All the students from 9th onwards, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, UG, PG, PhD, all of them will have to be here for 20 days in the ashram to study the entire Bhagavad Gita in great details. And I will be there all those 20 days to explain or answer any doubts that you may have. So what you can do between now and July is read, reread, and understand whatever you have learned so far, so that when you come, you are coming with much better understanding, and then when you hear again, it will reveal new meanings to you. The more you chew on it, the more juice comes out of it, like a sugar cane, a piece of sugar cane. You keep chewing, you get more and more juice out of it. So that is the idea of Bhagavad Gita. Mananam, 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 you have to keep doing between now and July. So our work does not stop and end here. Nevertheless, I must appreciate the efforts of the entire audio video team, the devotees from around the world. You saw the people, they are from UK, from Australia, from Italy, from Japan. Look at their Shraddha. They are not born in a country where Bhagavad Gita is taught. Yet there is Shraddha to learn it from wherever they are, Singapore. And these people have helped do all your slides, do daily recordings, word to word meaning and the essence. And all that is being consolidated into a nice one video. And that will be available to everybody. You can keep listening. The more you listen, it settles in your mind. You see, by ear is very important. By listening, you get first is Shravanam, then only Mananam. So listen. That is available to all of you. All the discourses also have been consolidated. They are available to you, all of you. And when we meet in July, we will go over the entire thing once more and then understand it much better, much deeply. And any doubts you have, that we will clarify. So I have request the chairpersons and all the authorities to adjust their holidays and academic calendar to ensure that these 20 days are given to me exclusively for teaching Bhagavad Gita or reteaching Bhagavad Gita, and don't put classes and exams. We are also very happy that we have such eminent people. And why I am happy is because they are business people, they are business heads, they run businesses. In this Kali Yuga, running business in Satyuga was different matter. In Kali Yuga, running business is worse than fight of Kurukshetra battle. So still you have to remain steady, dharma, all that, the virtue. And I am particularly always appreciative of Infosys, of which Prahladji was a part from the very beginning. Their value systems were something that have always inspired. I admire that company for its value system. So also we have Indushekhar-ji, and that's a company not from India, but the value system is Indian. So they have ensured that they follow the value system and try to make it the safest vehicles, so that it's not that if they just meet the standard, they should outdo it. They should do better than whatever is available, sheerly from the point of view of Lokahita, as Krishna says. For Loka Sangraha, work in this world for the sake of betterment of the world. Don't work for any gains, personal gains. Work, like Janakadayaha, they have what he himself says, I have nothing to achieve in the three worlds. Nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. Yes, yet I perform my duties, Krishna says. Yet I work with all enthusiasm, though I have nothing to achieve, and there is nothing that I have not achieved. I am not going to get an award, or my stock price is not going to go up. I am not going to be listed in the US bourses. I will not be called the trillionaire of the world. Yet I work. For what sake? For the sake of the betterment of the world. See, they are like that. Working for the betterment of the world. See, that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Kshetre kshetre dharmam kuru, it was said. But at the end, all dharman parityajya. Finally, you reach the Advaitic state where there is no doer, no enjoyer, everything becomes one. That state Bhagavad Gita should take you. But it begins with Karma Yoga. Do your duty properly. Offer it as a worship to the divine. Meditate on that idea of oneness with the divine. And ultimately, reach that state of merger with the divinity. And then you become simply a spontaneous instrument, a spontaneous expression of the divine. You have nothing of doing of your own, nor enjoying of your own. Everything is done and enjoyed through you by only one, that divine. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. May you all study with great Shraddha and attain this highest state, Advaita, which is the ultimate goal of Bhagavad Gita. Advaita darshanam jnanam. True wisdom is to see Advaita, not see two. There is to see only one. That is the ultimate essence of Bhagavad Gita. Until we reach there, our journey is not over. Till we have attained that state of oneness, that samadhi sthiti, sthita prajna sthiti, we are not done. Our Bhagavad Gita study should go on and on. This yajna should go on and on in our minds, in our daily deeds, in our thoughts, words, till we reach that state of wisdom, pandita, Samadarshinaha, who sees one, who sees equal in everything. In Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Shunishcha Shopakescha Pandita Samadarshina. Till we attain that Samadarshi, equal vision for everyone, our Bhagavad Gita study has not been fulfilled. So if you want to give your Guru Dakshina, you have to give, right? You just learn and then you vanish from there. Doesn't work. What is the Guru Dakshina you can give to Bhagavan Krishna? He says, you practice what I have told you. Karishye Vachanam Tava, O Shri Krishna, whatever you taught, we shall follow, whatever you have taught us, and that will be our offering of gratitude, our dakshina to you. And that is important. So therefore, let us all strive to learn and follow, and if we become better human beings, all people around us also will start improving. This is how societies will improve, countries will improve, and the world will improve at large. It begins with the individual, one person who has to begin this journey within. So may you all attain this with these blessings. And again, gratitude to the entire team, to Mr. Indushekar, to Prahlad ji for being here, and all other important people who are here, and all others who think they are important who are here. To all of them, lot of gratitude and blessings.
We will now have a short break for 10 minutes, after which we shall have this evening's cultural program, a dance recital by Dr. Padma Subrahmanyam ji. Saira. This evening, we have a dance presentation by Dr. Padma Subrahmanyam ji. An outstanding dancer, composer, singer, choreographer, and teacher, Dr. Padma is the president of Nrityodaya, a leading institution for dance and performing arts. She has innovated and introduced a new pedagogy in dance training based on the study of the Natya Shastra. Devotion to God and spirituality are her trademark facets that are predominantly portrayed through her dance. She is the recipient of various awards including the Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushan from the Government of India. Bhagavad Gita is a solo dance recital by Dr. Padma Subrahmanyam, which she compiled from the original lyrics, tuned, choreographed, and danced nearly 2 decades ago. It is in 4 parts, namely, Arjuna's confusion, his surrender to Krishna, and thereafter the revelation of the Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Prakriti and Bhakti Yoga, and finally, the Lord's assurance and the cosmic revelation. It is a bird's eye view of the 18 chapters using 70 chosen verses. Dr. Padma feels humbled that Sadguru has affectionately commanded her to present an abridged version on this very holy day of Gita Jayanti. As part of the orchestra, we have Dr. Gayatri Kannan on the vocals and Natuvangam, an artist well-versed in both classical music and classical dance. Dr. Gayatri is presently the principal of Nrityodaya, teaching classes in dance, practicals and theory, Sanskrit and music. Shri Kannan Balakrishnan on the Veena and Shuddha Maddalam. Shri Kannan is an accomplished Vidwan in Veena and serves as secretary of Nrityodaya. We have Shri Nagai P. Sriram on the Mridangam. Sriram ji is well versed in composing jatis for classical dance and other drum patterns. He accompanies many leading artists and dancers. On the flute is Shri Shruti Sagar, an accomplished flautist in classical music. On the vocals, we also have Ms. Mahati Kannan, daughter of Shri Kannan and Dr. Gayatri Kannan. She is the disciple and grandniece of Dr. Padma. Presenting this evening, Bhagavad Gita by Dr. Padma Subrahmanyam. Saira.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Humble pranams to Bhagavan and Pujya Sadguru. Scene 1, Arjuna's confusion, his surrender to Krishna as disciple, and the Lord's revelation of Jnana Yoga. The scene starts with Lord Krishna, the divine charioteer, driving the chariot for Arjuna and placing it between the 2 armies of Pandavas and Kauravas. Krishna commands Arjuna to worship goddess Durga. Arjuna sees that the enemy ranks are full of his own relatives. He is affected by sentimentality and refuses to wage war. What pleasure can we derive by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? We will only be accruing sin by killing our cousins. It would be better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra killed me in the battlefield while I was unarmed and unresisting. Bhagavan says, how did you get abominably confused like an uncultured fellow at this odd hour? This will neither bring you heaven for the other world nor fame for this world. I am puzzled, Arjuna asked. I am puzzled as to what is dharma. I plead with you, tell me what is decidedly correct. I am your disciple. I pray to you to instruct me, for I have sought refuge in you. Bhagavan explains, Arjuna, all beings were unmanifest before they were born. They are manifest with form in the intermediate stage. They will all become unmanifest when they die. So where is the need to lament? Just as a man discards worn-out clothes and takes new ones, the soul casts off the worn-out bodies and enters into new ones. The soul cannot be cut by weapons. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot drench it, nor can wind dry it. Moreover, considering the Kshatriya Dharma, you cannot afford to waver, for there is nothing greater for a warrior than waging a righteous war. Treating alike pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat with equanimity, get ready to fight. Such a mentality will not bring you sin. If one performs physical actions with a mind and body that have been subdued enough to give up craving for all subjects of enjoyment, he does not incur sin. Arjuna asked, Keshava, what are the characteristics of a man of steady wisdom? Krishna explains, Partha, when one thoroughly abandons all desires and enjoys self-contentment, he is a man of steady mind. If one's mind remains unperturbed in sorrow and happiness, with his thirst for pleasure altogether disappeared, and is also free from passion, fear, and anger, he is called a sage. Like the tortoise drawing its limbs within itself from all directions, when a man withdraws his senses from sense objects, he is called a man of steady wisdom. With the mind set on sense objects, man develops attachment to them. From attachment arises desire. From unfulfilled desire springs up anger. From anger is born infatuation. Infatuation leads to confusion in memory. This in turn develops destruction of the intellect, and with loss of reason, one invites complete ruin. The ocean, which receives water from the rivers from all sides, remains undisturbed. Likewise, a man of steady wisdom is at peace with himself, even while all enjoyments merge in him, for he is not the one who hankers after pleasures. Arjuna, you and I have passed through many a birth. I know them all, while you do not. Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and unrighteousness is in the ascent, I physically manifest myself. For the protection of the good and destruction of the evil doers, and for the establishment of dharma, I am born age after age. That is scene 1, Arjuna's confusion, his surrender to Krishna as disciple, and the Lord's revelation of Jnana Yoga.
जनार्दन 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 का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतानाततायिनः जनार्दन यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं जनार्दन 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 कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मात् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षयकृतं 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 दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिः जनार्दन 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 यदि माम् अप्रतीकारम् अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः धार्तराष्ट्रान् रणे हन्तुस्तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत् जनार्दन 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 अर्जुन कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टम् अस्वर्ग्यौ अकीर्तिकरौ मधुसूदन अरे सूदन कथं 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 पूजा अर्हो भीष्मो द्रोणः अहं संख्ये शुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि मधुसूदन अरे सूदन कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि 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 तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहम् शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् शाधि मां त्वां शरीराणि विहाय तथा शरीराणि विहाय तथा शरीराणि विहाय तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयत्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः स्वधर्मम् अपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुम् अर्हसि धैर्याणि युद्धाश्रेयो अन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते स्थितप्रज्ञस्य पाशात् समाधिस्थस्य केशव स्थितधिः किं प्रभाषेत किं आसीत व्रजेत किं प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थ मनोगतान् आत्मनीव आत्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते दुःखेषु अनुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः दुःखेषु अनुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागः भयक्रोधः स्थितधीः मुनिरुच्यते यदा संहरते चायपूर्वोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषोपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽपि जायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति आपूर्यमाणमचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत्कामाय प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी తత్తడింగు తాదృగు దక్కిత్రత్తా కుజేకు తకజేకు తనకత తడిక తడిక తాదరికిట తక తడికిట తకతికు తరికిట నూని మే వ్యగతే తాని జన్మాని తవ చ అర్జునా 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 बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव च अर्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेद पदं तप यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृता धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे
Scene 2, Karma Yoga. Arjuna intervenes. Keshava, if you consider jnana, wisdom, to be greater than karma, action, why then do you urge me to do this awful action? Bhagavan says, O sinless one, in this world, 2 courses of spiritual disciplines, sadhana, have been enunciated by me in the past. The sadhana is evolved in the path of jnana for the Sankhya yogi, and it is processed through the path of karma in the case of the karma yogi. You have a right only to do your duty, but not over the fruit of your action. Let not the fruit of the action be your goal, nor should you be attached to inaction. He who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. He is a yogi who has accomplished all actions. Dhananjaya, relinquishing attachment and maintaining indifference to success and failure, keep performing your duty. Equanimity is called yoga. Therefore, perform your allotted duty. Action is superior to inaction. By desisting from action, you cannot even maintain your physical well-being. At the beginning of creation, while creating mankind along with the yajna, that is Vedic rite, Prajapati, the Lord of mankind, said to them thus, may your tribe increase through yajna. May yajna yield the enjoyment you seek. Foster the devas, forces of nature, through yajna, and may the devas foster you through their blessing. Thus, mutually satisfying and fostering one another, you will attain the highest good. All beings are evolved from food. Production of food depends on rain. Rain ensues from yajna, and yajna is rooted in karma, action. Know that karma has its origin in the Vedas, and Vedas proceeded from the eternal God. Hence, the all-pervading infinite is always present in the yajna. Partha, this wheel of creation activates the world through performance of allotted duty. He who does not turn this wheel lives in vain a mere sinful, sensual life. Yajna is performed in varied ways by varied people. It may be offering material things, performing penance, observance of yoga, and austere vows, and through study of texts relating to wisdom to attain peace within oneself. Many forms of yajna are known from the Vedas. They are all obtained through action of the body, mind, and senses. A knowledge of these frees you from the bondage of karma. Now, hear how one can attain siddhi, that is realization, by being devoted to one's own duty. Man attains siddhi through performing the allotted work as worship of that Supreme from whom all beings emanate and by whom all this creation is pervaded. Scene 2, Karma Yoga.
जनार्दन जनार्दन ज्यायसि चेत्कर्मणः ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव अनघ 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 सङ्गः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्धि असिद्धयोः समे भूत्वा समत्वं योगमुच्यते नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायोगि अकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येत् अकर्मणः सह यज्ञाः प्रजाः सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्टमेष गो अस्त्विष्टकामधुक् देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्नसम्भवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्मसम्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्म अक्षरसमुद्भवं तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम् एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति इह यः अघायुरिन्द्रियारामो मोघम् स जीवति पार्थ स जीवति स जीवति स जीवति द्रव्ययज्ञाः तपोयज्ञाः योगयज्ञाः तथा परे स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा विदता ब्रह्मणो मुखे 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 कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे दिग्धे दिग्धे झण्डे झण्डे चं मुकबलितकटे तेजं मुकबलितकटे तेजं स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य तत्तं 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 स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य तत्तं 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 स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः
Scene 3, Prakriti and Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavan says, I shall explain to you something after knowing which there is nothing else to be still known in this world. It is jnana in its entirety, along with the knowledge of manifest divinity. My Prakriti, nature, is eightfold. That is earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and ego. This is my apara prakriti, that is lower insentient nature. My para or higher sentient nature by which the whole universe is sustained is in the form of jiva, that is life principle. Understand that all beings have evolved from this twofold prakriti. I am the source of this creation. It will all dissolve back into me. My prakriti in primordial, underdeveloped state is the womb of all creatures. I place my seed of consciousness into that womb. O descendant of Bharata, the birth of all beings follows from this combination of matter and spirit. O son of Kunti, Prakriti is the mother, and I am the father of all the beings who take birth from respective wombs. The Jivatma, soul, in the body is an immortal part of my own self. It draws the five senses and the mind from the rest of the matter. When the soul migrates into another body, these six are carried away with it, just like the wind snatching away the fragrance from the flowers. This Jivatma enjoys the objects of the senses while dwelling in the body. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas are the three qualities born from Prakriti, and they tie the imperishable soul to the body. Sattva binds the jiva with the body through self-identification with bliss and wisdom, because Sattva is immaculate, illuminating, and flawless. Rajas binds the jiva with the body through attachment to the fruits of action, for it is of the nature of passion born of cupidity. Tamas is the deluder in all embodied beings. It is born of ignorance. It binds the soul to the body through error, sloth, and sleep. When a person dies during the preponderance of sattva, he attains faultless worlds gained by men of noble deeds. Dying when rajas is in ascendant, he is born to those attached to action. Likewise, expiring during the preponderance of tamas, he is born in the wombs of stupid creatures. He who worships me through bhakti yoga transcends the three gunas and becomes eligible to attain Brahman. I personally appear in front of the disinterested devotee of purified intellect and delightfully partake the article offered by him to me with love. It may just be a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or just water. That the indestructible and unmanifest is called the supreme goal. That is my abode, reaching which man will not return. Partha, it is only through bhakti that one can reach Supreme Purusha, in whom all beings reside and by whom all this is pervaded. That is Scene 3, Prakriti and Bhakti Yoga.
ज्ञानं तेऽहं सविज्ञानमिदम् ज्ञानं तेऽहं सविज्ञानमिदं वक्ष्यामि अशेषतः यद् ज्ञात्वा न इह भूयो अन्यत् ज्ञातव्यम् अवशिष्यते भूमिरापो अनलो वायुः मनो बुद्धिः एव च अहङ्कार इति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिः अष्टधा अपरेयं इतस्तु अन्या प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूता महाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत् एतद्योनिः भूतानि सर्वाणि इति उपधारय अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयस्तथा मम योनिः महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं ददाम्यहम् सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तयः सम्भवन्ति याः सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तयः सम्भवन्ति याः सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तयः सम्भवन्ति याः तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनि अहं बीजप्रदः पिता ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः चक्षुः स्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयान् उपसेवते सत्वं रजस्तमः इति गुणाः प्रकृति सम्भवाः निबध्नन्ति महाबाहो देहिनमव्ययम् तत्र सत्वं निर्मलत्वात् प्रकाशकम् अनामयं सुखसंज्ञेन बध्नाति ज्ञानसंज्ञेन च अनघ रजोरागात्मकं विद्धि रजोरागात्मकं विद्धि तृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनम् तमस्तु अज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिना प्रमाद आलस्यं निद्राभिस्तन्निबध्नाति भारत ता तर्रिकिटतकधी तर्रिकिटतकथा तर्रिकिटतकधी तर्रिकिटतकथा तर्रिकिटतकधि तर्रिकिटतकदत्तरी तत्तर्ण तज्जणो तद्निमिताकदीकताकदीक तत्तिद्दित्ता तत्तित्ता दित्ता किडतकतर्किडतु यदा सत्त्वे प्रबुद्धे तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदोत्तमं वेदां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गेषु जायते तथा प्रलीनः तमसि तथा प्रलीनः तमसि तथा प्रलीनः तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते ता तरिकिडतगदे तरिकिडतगदा तरिकिडतगदे तरिकिडतगदा तरिकिडतगदे तरिकिडतगद तच्चेद तन्न तच्चण्णु तत्तीं ताकदीक ताकदीक तत्तित्ता तत्तित्ता तित्ता तत्तरितु मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैव पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्तिमुपहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः अव्यक्त अक्षर इत्युक्तस्तमाहुः परमां गतिं यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम पुरुषः स परः पार्थ भक्त्या लभ्यस्त्वनन्यया यस्यान्तस्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् मधुसूदन हरिसूदन जनार्दना जनार्दना कृष्ण कृष्ण केशव केशव
Concluding scene 4, the Lord's assurance and cosmic revelation. Arjuna says that his mind is uncontrollable like the wind, and Krishna assures him that it would be possible to control it through practice and conviction. Arjuna asks Krishna a pertinent question. In spite of having faith and practice in yoga, if there is a failure in his attainments due to slips in controlling the mind, what would be the consequence and what would be his fate? Krishna assures him that none of his devotees would be left in lurch. Even if he is the worst sinner, he is redeemed like a good man, for he would have started in the right path. Women, Vaishyas, Shudras, and even those born of sin will attain mukti if they worship him. After listening to his assurance, Arjuna pleads with Krishna to reveal his cosmic form. When Krishna graciously obliges him, Arjuna not only has a vision of the whole cosmos, but also witnesses the terrible sight of the host of warriors along with Bhishma, Drona, and Karna gushing into the terrible form of the Lord. Some of their heads are seen getting powdered by being caught inside his terrible teeth. Unable to bear this awesome sight, Arjuna pleads with the Lord to reveal his name and purpose. The Lord replies that he is Kala or time, who has come to consume the world. He says that he has already killed those soldiers and they would have been killed even without the presence of Arjuna. The Lord says to Arjuna, "You are just an instrument in my hands. Rise up, use your bow, take the credit of killing your enemies and enjoy this kingdom." Arjuna recognizes all the forces of nature in the cosmic form of the Lord Almighty. He says, "1,000 prostrations to you, who is the Lord of wind, death, and fire. You are the moon, the Lord of mankind, the very originator of life." At the end, Arjuna touchingly pleads with the Lord to pardon him for all the insults that he had caused to the Lord by taking him to be a friend. He says, "I called out your name as Krishna, Yadava, and friend, both inadvertently and knowingly, alone and in the presence of everybody. I misbehaved with you without realizing your glory. May I be pardoned for all the mistakes. The program concludes with Arjuna fighting the battle with divine blessings. Blessed devotees, all of us are to be thinking that we are in the place of Arjuna, so that may all of us pray to that supreme Gita Acharya, Shri Bhagavan, and of course our very dear and respected Sadguru, to clear all this confusion in our minds and bless all of us with a happy, healthy, peaceful, purposeful, and a glorious life with Ayur Arogya Saukyam, and as Sri Sadguru just mentioned, filled with nobility, ability, and stability. Thank you very much.
चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवत् दृढं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम् असंशयं महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम् अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण च गृह्यते कां गतिं कृष्ण गच्छति अयति हि श्रद्धयोपेतो योगात् चलितमानसः अप्राप्य योगसंसिद्धिम् कां गतिं कृष्ण गच्छति पार्थ नैवेहनामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वत् शान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्रास्ता परमेश्वर 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 एवं एतत् यथार्थ त्वमात्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुम् इच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तमा मन्यसे यदि तच्छक्यं मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो योगेश्वर योगेश्वर ततो मे त्वं दर्शयात्मानम् अव्ययम् प्रभो न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिं पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर 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 विश्वरूपम् अमी च त्वां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्राः सर्वे सहैवावनिपालसङ्घैः भीष्मो द्रोणः सूतपुत्रस्तथासौ सहास्मदीयैरभियोद्धमुख्यैः वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाणा विशन्ति दंशाकराळानि भयानकानि केचित् विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु सन्दृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैः उत्तमाङ्गैः चूर्णितैः उत्तमाङ्गैः चूर्णितैः आख्याहि मे को भवान् उग्ररूपो नमोऽस्तु ते नमोऽस्तु ते नमोऽस्तु ते देवर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तम् आद्यं न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम् कालोऽस्मि 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 लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धो लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः कालोऽस्मि ऋते अपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे अवस्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रु भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धं मयैव एते निरताः पूर्वमेव निमित्तमात्रौ भव सौव्यसाचिन् 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 नमो नमस्ते नमस्ते अस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते नमो नमस्ते नमो नमस्ते नमो नमस्ते अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास 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 प्रसभं यदुक्तं सखेति मत्वा प्रसभं यदुक्तं हे कृष्णा हे यादवा हे सखे इति अजानता महिमानं तवेदं मया प्रमादा प्रणयेन वापि यचावहासार्थम् असत्कृतोऽसि विहार शय्यासन भोजनेषु एको अथवापि अच्युता 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 धीम दिग दग दिग दग दिग दग तांगड़ तत्ति तरकिड़ता 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 तरकिड़ धीम दिग दग दिग दग दिग दग तांगड़ तत्ति तरकिड़ता ता 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 धीम दिग दग दिग दग ता धीम दिग दग दिग दग ता धीम तत्त धीम तत्त धीम तत्त धीम दिग दग दिग दग तत्त तत्त ता धीम दिग दग दिग दग तत्त तत्त ता धीम दिग दग दिग दग तत्त तत्त ता धीम
Where is Sham? He is here. What was he doing here? He was handling the entire. Switch off. It's Chandra Sham. Come, you also come. One more. No. He came for the lights, is it? Okay.
I asked him to come and help us with additional lights.
Very happy.
He's also a dancer.
Dancer also. It's so wonderful that, she's a legend, we all know. She designed, she composed, she created this art for herself and made a niche for herself. And she calls it Bharata Nrityam, which has come from the tradition of Bharata Muni. And she continues to teach even at this, I should not, they say don't tell the age of the women, but she is not a woman, she is a legend. So you should know the legend's age. She is 80 years old and still she is dancing today for us. I hope you heard it right, 80, not 18. But she has the enthusiasm, energy, the abilities of an 18-year-old. And that is because of her devotion to dance. When she dances, something else takes over. Body may have its own limitations. Spirit has no limitation at all. So it transcends the body, the mind, and all other restrictions, and it expresses itself. So the beauty of the dance today and what the recital, the entire composition, and the singing, the vadyam, the natyam, abhinaya, everything put together was a divine side. She transported us 5,000 years ago to the battlefield where Sri Krishna was giving this sermon of Bhagavad Gita. What expressions, Arjuna's various moods and various expressions, and Sri Krishna's Paramatma, that feeling should come, isn't it? Immediately you have to swing from a despondent, worried, anxious Arjuna to a calm, serene, composed Paramatma. The shift of expressions is not so easy. And I think that is why she is what she is. And we are so grateful to her and to the entire team. I just mentioned to her that on Gita Jayanti, we are celebrating 1 year of study of Gita. You must come and present this program. She has taken this program to many countries of the world. It's quite a famous program, this is. But at this age also, she obliged, and we should consider ourselves lucky and fortunate to have witnessed her dance and present Bhagavad Gita on Gita Jayanti. One word I must follow.
I have no words to convey my kritagnya to Swami. He said, come and perform Gita. My grandniece, Mahati, who sang along with her mother, is getting married on 12th this month. I told Swami there is wedding preparations. He said, so what? You come and dance and go. He made it so simple, and it has been so wonderful for me and my whole group. Thanks for this experience that you gave, Swami, to perform in front of you. I feel the study, the experience of Gita that I've had all my life was meaningful when I danced this before you. You're all very lucky. I told the dance students this morning how lucky they are. If they had been in one of the metropolitan cities, they would have spent I don't know how many lakhs. You have given them food, clothing, shelter, education, and spiritualism. What more do we need? Swamiji, you are creating a whole new set of generation who are going to lead the world. You can see the tejas in every student because of you. Whenever you call us, Swamiji, we will come. This is all that we can do as seva. Bhagavad Gita itself says, the karma that each individual does has to be offered to him. Then there is excellence automatically. When you do puja, you don't expect a critic to write about, oh, he did that puja very well. It is very true of any vocation in life. This is what I have felt all my life, and this is what these children who are learning dance have to imbibe. We do everything, all our karma, as offering to him. And this is what Swamiji has taught you. Live through that. Have an experience of life with this kind of exposure that you are getting. Nowhere in the world, my dear students, you can get this. Swami, I have never known something called jealousy in my life because I have always felt Purna, very, very contented. But when I look at these youngsters who are studying in your campus, I'm very jealous. I wish I can go back in my age, instead of 80, go back to 18, join your university as a student. My best wishes to all of you youngsters, and once again, my humble namaskarams to you, Swami.
ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमो मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्राशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेव सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय बोलो सद्गुरु श्री मधुसूदन साई जी की जय